Hello everyone, welcome back once again for another boss and roll video. Today I'm playing something that's normally pretty far out of my wheelhouse, and that is Dark Maverick. So this is the list that won the most recent Legacy Challenge on Magic Online, and this archetype got both first and eighth in that tournament. So it's not a fluke. Two people showed up with very similar lists, and they both made top 8 of the tournament. So if you're not familiar with Maverick, the Legacy archetype, it's a kind of like prison tempo deck. It basically what it does is just presents rock solid threat after rock solid threat with a disruption package in Thalia and a Green Sun Zenith toolbox. So you have Collector Oof for the artifacts. You have Scavenging Ooze for the graveyard. Raminab Excavator can start drawing you cards or present more threats or lock someone out with Wasteland. Knight of Autumn does whatever you need it to. Questing Beast to beat up those planeswalkers. And Knight of the Reliquary is the marquee card in this deck. Because your lands are also a toolbox. You're a Wasteland deck, you have the Cradle to jump ahead, Horizon Canopy to draw cards, and Caracas. So it looks pretty simple on paper. Like it's just, okay, I present my creatures, I turn them sideways a bit, and whatever they're trying to do, I try to pinch it off with the Wastelands, the Thalia, or the Zenith package. The trick is that this deck is really hard to navigate how to pinch off what your opponent's doing. It's not like a blue deck where you have Force of Will and just you can just hang back and like whatever it is that you're scared of, okay, I'll force that. This you have to plan ahead. Like if I'm going to lose to an artifact on turn 5, I might need to get my Collector Oof on turn 3, or that sort of decision making. And the decision trees are enormous with this deck. Like your first land drop could cascade to like what you're able to do on turn 4. And that's always a little bit true in Legacy, but it's more true in a deck without Brainstorm. Like you can't really easily pivot to a different plan in a deck that is just green and white. Like other than Sylvan Library, we're not really like we have to plan ahead for everything. There's no reacting really allowed here. Uh, let's see what my rusty forest muscles can do. I played a lot of Elves back in the day, which has a lot of similar things. Elves is also a Green Sun Zenith package deck. There's a lot of tricksy onboard interactions. It doesn't have Brainstorm, doesn't have Force of Will. I have also played a little bit of Death and Taxes, which has the Thalia type aspects to it, but I have never in my life actually played Maverick, so I'm pretty excited to get into this. The sideboard is pretty stacked for creatures. Like it's clearly a lot of respect paid to Delver. These 2 Path to Exiles on top of the 4 Plows already. Just the 1 choke. In different metas, I can see like 2 or 3 of these. This is a card I'm always terrified playing against when I'm a blue deck, my usual blue decks. Leyline of the Void. I don't love Leylines as Magic cards, but both of the decks that made top 8 had 4 of them, so the meta must be right for it. I respect people who put more work into the deck than I did. Deafening Silence and Thoughtseize for combo, Gadokteeg for combo. And in case we need to get even more fair, we have Rascal Golgari Queen. So, pretty straightforward sideboard, and let's see if we can outmaneuver some tricksy blue mages with our green creatures. Alright, we're here for round 1. We're on the play, and we have a Once Upon a Time and Noble Hierarch. This hand has a lot to like about it, so I'm going to keep it. I haven't played with Once Upon a Time in a while, so surprise. Guess what time it is? Once. Alright, so I kind of do want additional land. Like, I can't. So if I take the scrubland, I can fetch Basic Forest and cast Noble Hierarch, and then I can turn 2 Kaya. Is that even true? No. Oh, yeah, the Hierarch makes white. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to take the scrubland. This lets me play around Wasteland and get all my colors online. Yeah, with the three noble hierarch, birds of paradise, and the 4 green sun zeniths with Dryad Arbor, you have 8 mana creatures, 1-drop mana creatures in the deck. So you should pretty much always be able to do something for 3 mana on turn 2. I honestly don't even know if turn 2 Kaya is good, but I certainly have access to it. So this plays into like Spell Pierce and every other thing. You can't pierce a Plague Engineer, but I also don't know what I would name with Plague Engineer. I could just put a 4/3 into play. I'm going to lead with my best spell and just hope it resolves. Also, it's kind of interesting because she doesn't actually do anything on this board except threaten future action. So that might be a way to sneak past counter magic. It is kind of rough that I had to hang out my only black source here. Lightning Bolt. Why would you do that now? That's weird. You'd think you'd want to upkeep that if you were going to do it. Or just do it on your own turn. I guess if I had played Knight of Autumn as a 4/3, they could have bolted that instead, but if they just made that play proactively, then I would have never had a 4/3. I don't know. I'm curious about that. Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay, so I have a couple of options here, as will be the case. So I can exile Lightning Bolt and cast Knight of the Reliquary. Or my opponent's deck is not going to have any artifacts or enchantments, so maybe just like putting a 4/3 into play against this Knight of Autumn makes sense. I could also just waste them. Just like try to make this Dreadhorde Arcanist as bad as possible, though I'm pretty sure I want to be on board before I start messing around with that. I want to save the Plague Engineer. Like I could just play it naming Wizard, but if they do have Lightning Bolt, I want to hang out the worst creature that can be bolted. Like my Knight, next turn I can play it as a 4/4, so that'll be way better than just running it into Bolt. What is this swirly thing over here? Did you all see that? That was weird. I've never noticed this little sign over here. Oh, that's telling me what I'm yielding to. Okay. All right. Cool, I guess. Oh, the old main deck Blood Moon. That's embarrassing that Knight of Autumn is just in play already. My opponent won't have any artifacts or enchantments. Blah, 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 blah. I think I should cast my spells first. So what creatures can I get? I can Zenith for up to 3. I could get Ramanep Excavator, Knight of the Reliquary. Oof doesn't do anything. Elvish Reclaimer could get me my basic planes in 2 turns. Could get Ooze to control the graveyard even more. But that exposes me to Lightning Bolt really badly. Like if I just Zenith for Ooze right now and they go Bolt, Ooze, attack, Bolt, Knight, then we're going to have a bad time. So I think that I want to get Elvish Reclaimer. Yeah, it's either that or just swing for the fences with getting a knight and just hoping it's big enough. No, I'm gonna get the Reclaimer. All of these are pretty bad against Lightning Bolt, obviously. Ooh, I did not consider Hex Drinker. I can't get it up to undrinkable levels this turn, though. That's the most aggressive line. Do I like that? I think I do. Oh, we are dead to Lightning Bolt, basically no matter what, so. I'm gonna make them have Lightning Bolt, though. If I attack, then they can attack and just refire a cantrip for free. If they want to refire a cantrip, I want to make it cost their Arcanist. And if they don't kill Hexdrinker this turn and it gets protection from instants, then it's going to win the game. And Kaya has them in an interesting pinch because if they play a cantrip and don't fire in their Dreadhorde to recantrip, then Kaya's just going to eat it. Though this blue-red deck with main deck Blood Moon probably has at least 5 Lightning Bolts in it, maybe even 6 or 7. Between like Chain Lightning and other options. All right, there's the Ponder. Please don't find Lightning Bolt. Remember that time I cast Night of Autumn and then they played Blood Moon? What the fuck? All right, my opponent did choose to shuffle. Just gotta fade those bolts. Their attack could still find Bolt though. They attack, they cast the Ponder, they have a look at 4 more cards, and if one of them's Bolt, then their attack is bananas. But Hexdrinker still gets to go nuts. If they don't, like they either lose Arcanist or they lose the Hexdrinker. Okay. Well, I'm gonna start here. If this goes through, we're Gucci. All right, I guess we're just Gucci. So 4, it's at level 3. I can get it to level Progenitus next turn. And I can't cast spells anyway. I guess I can represent that I have something, or I could just be bashing. I think I just want to bash. Like, I was holding back the knight so they don't re-trigger. So they would have to think about their Arcanist, but I just have them dead in 2 turns, so I don't need them to think about anything except how they're dead. All right, and they're dead next turn. What have they found? A lightning bolt. They must have just drawn that because that would their whole game plan wouldn't have made any sense if that was in the hand already. I think it's too late though. All right, so I can get in for 6. I can make it 7 with Noble Hierarch. That's funny. Um, all right, we're protected from everything. Cancel that. I don't know how they get out of this. I might as well exile my own noble hierarch. Like that, this gives me a little life buffer. Like I think the only way I could lose this game is getting burned out from here. And not that I think 19 is particularly burnable, but 21 is it, and it's extra life, so I'll take it. And they're dead. We drank all the hexes. Okay, so they are a blue-red, probably Delver deck with Blood Moon in it. This is what all these are for. These 6 Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares effects. I don't think I want Thoughtseize. I think I do want Plague Engineer. It is awkward, though, that they showed me Blood Moon. I have no basic Swamp in the deck, and I'm thinking about boarding in another black card. So I'm pretty sure I don't need any of this stuff. These are definites, and then these are maybes. Kaya was like not bad. I mean, I guess all she really did was control Dreadhorde Arcanist, but that was their whole plan, so that is pretty good. Abrupt Decay is great. Collector, oof, I don't need that one. I don't actually think Knight of Autumn is good, even though we've seen Blood Moon now. I guess they might also have like Winter Orb or Sulfuric Vortex. So I guess I don't want to dilute my my package too much, my Zenith package. And do you just cut Once Upon a Times at this point? Like this is like card selection for just good cards. Sideboarding is tough with this deck, I'm not gonna lie. Kaya exiles Delver and controls the Excavator, or the Arcanist, so I think that's good. Do I need Questing Beast to win this matchup? I don't think so. It's kind of an expensive creature, and they're not really doing anything that I care about over there. I guess if they have Young Pyromancer, this can push through. But so does Plague Engineer. So I'm off that. Alright, so it's literally Birds of Paradise to cast all these black spells if they stick a Blood Moon. So I have to leave a Knight of Autumn to respect that. And I want the Choke, but where does it go? Is it the other Once Upon a Time? Definitely want Choke. That's the whole reason it's here. Alright, I think this is fine. Obviously, I'm not an expert sideboarder with Maverick. That's probably the hardest part. But I think this looks good. Double Plague Engineer sucks. Like, I can fetch Bayou and have a turn 2 Plague Engineer, which could mess with some other stuff, but it also just exposes me to Wasteland. I'm gonna keep, though. Like, if they don't just waste me out, this hand's great. Like, Abrupt Decay is excellent. Oh, I drew Bayou. Alright, I'm gonna do something that you're not supposed to do, which is Wasteland Delver after they play turn 1 Delver. So generally this is a really bad play because they're on board and they only really need 1 land to play with. The fact that they are a 2-color deck and they led on their duel makes me think they don't have a basic. Alright, yeah, they don't have a other mana source at all. So that read was correct. I play with a lot of basic lands in my life, so when your opponent's deck that's full of basic lands leads on a non-basic, that is a sign of weakness. And we have this Abrupt Decay at the ready. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to slam Plague Engineer. They can't Daze because they don't have any islands. We lose our Bayou to do this, but if it resolves, it's insane. And if it doesn't resolve, it's a Hymn to Turok. Alright, you got me. Wow, that's just in there. So we name Wizard, that kills Delver, and it bricks future Dreadhorde Arcanists. It makes them 0/2s, so they can't cast any spells out of the graveyard. Bummer. Alright, they're back in this. I have to be careful with this Windswept Heath, though. Oh, Young Peasy is in this deck. Good to know. Young Pyromancer is unfortunately a Shaman, not any of the other things that it could have been, like a Wizard. So we have 2 Bayous and 1 Scrubland in this deck. There are 2 black sources left. I think I have to just spew one of them to kill Young Pyromancer right now. But I can also sneak this in. Oh, I should have wasted the island. What am I even doing? Yeah, if I wasteland the island, that's so much better for me. Alright, yeah, mistakes were made. Because then they can't cast spells anyway. They've made it clear they don't have spells. And I forgot to attack because I'm busy narrating. Alright, alright. Take a deep breath. And play better. Okay. You're at 16. Continue. Magmatic Channeler is also a wizard. That's lucky. I'm such a dumbass. Alright. Here's the wasteland. I'll waste your land. Would you like to concede? Okay, so attacking with both creatures is better than attacking with either with Exalted, because that's 5 damage instead of 4. And then the big mother of this whole deck, Knight of the Reliquary. Knight of the Reliquary is why this deck is a deck. Like, here's just my 6/6. When the dust is settled, here's my 6/6. You want to waste me, it's a 7/7, and you're dead on board. And they're dead. Despite that comedy of errors, including just straight up missing an attack, they still just got crushed. Maverick is very good at farming Delver. All right, let's play a little tighter and be back for the next. All right, we're on the play for round 2. I'm going to keep this hand. Or we're on the draw, sorry. We're on the draw, and so this hand doesn't have a 1-mana accelerator, but it does have Once Upon a Time. So we get our draw step and Once Upon a Time to find acceleration. I think that's pretty good. Uh-oh, we're playing fair. I don't know if this is a good matchup or not. Like, I can see us just losing hard to Punishing Fire. I can also see us just easily winning with our Wastelands. It's the nonstop parade of Wastelands. Alright, so I guess I Once Upon a Time first. I mean, that's how that card works. So I could grab a Wasteland here and just try to crack off. So if I just grab a Wasteland and crack off, and they go land Light from the Loam, I lose on the spot. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to lead on the Hex Drinker. If they have Punishing Fire, this is not a bad card to lose to it. If they don't, it could grow out of reach pretty quickly. Basically, this is the matchup that Kaya is for. Like, she punishes their graveyard and also exiles Merit Lage. For her -1, exile target non-land permanent with mana cost 1 or less. So you can exile Merit Lage or Mox Diamond or Exploration. There's a lot of choices, is what I'm saying. All right, we have the end game locked up here. This is the plan. All right, I'm gonna go for Abrupt Decay on Mox Diamond. I'm just trying to slow them down at this point. Because if I can stick Kaya next turn and nuke their graveyard, and then we can set up the Excavator loop. Obviously this plays into Wasteland. Like, I could have just ran out my fetch and for sure landed Kaya on the following turn. All right, unpunished. That's the best kind of punished. All right, so I can get basic planes here and continue playing around Wasteland as much as possible. All right, black. All right, so like the worst thing they can do is crop rotate for Grove and get their fire back in response. That didn't happen. All right. We're in good shape here, squad. So now we have Merit Lage kind of checkmated because they know about the Wasteland and they see Kaya. So if they go for the main phase, we can just exile Merit Lage. And if they wait, then we can just run out Wasteland and stop the depths. Did they not read Kaya? Or do they have like Spirit Guide for crop rotation for Sajiri step? I think this might be a case of they've never read Kaya. Unless they have like a fling? I don't know. Like what could they do? Alright, well, I'm confused. Let's see if we win. I'm gonna play my Wasteland first, just in case I need to destroy a land. See you later, Merit Lage. Alright. There's that. So I can waste the Taiga. Yeah, I think I just waste the Taiga. Who's the prison deck now? Play my 5/5, and then next turn I can Excavator and go nuts. Oh no, Mazabeth. That's fine. Excavator still beats that. So I'm going to get rid of their stage and their depths. I want no part of that combo hanging around. Let's see if they scoop to the excavator. Nope, they want to keep partying. Nope, they do scoop to excavator. All right. That was easy. Is it supposed to be that easy? I don't know. Is this a Vraska Golgari Queen matchup? Destroy target non-land permanent. So it minuses to Abrupt Decay. It pluses you can sack permanents to draw cards and gain a life. I don't know. I don't think they're permanents. All right. Like, I have 3 actual Abrupt Decays and Knight of Autumn in this deck already. I don't think this is a Vraska Golgari Queen matchup, unfortunately. This might be a Leyline of the Void matchup, though. Loam and Punishing Fire. Yeah, this is a Leyline matchup. All right, Plague Engineer. This is not what you're for. Questing Beast. This is not what you're for. Who else is not so good? I'm going to be shaving Once Upon a Time a lot because it's just the most generically whatever card. This is not really a Thalia matchup either, I don't think. Like, Thalia dies pretty... I guess it slows down Punishing Fire for, like, the first one, because the first one's just pointed straight at Thalia. Ooze is great. I like Hex Drinker just as a way to Zenith for a reasonable win condition. Knight's excellent. Both Knights are excellent. All my 3-drops, like, these 3-drops are all insane here. Collector Oof. They do have the Mox Diamonds, but that's it. Yeah, I think this spread is better than that. Though, considering the overall package, like the greater than the sum of its parts, if I'm wasting their non-basics, if I get that loop set up, Mox Diamond is their way to beat that. This is so fragile against Punishing Fire, though. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Like I'm pretty sure punishing fire is the only way they can really beat us. Cacao. All right, so they mulled to 6. We have Zenith for Dryad Arbor. We are just pants down to an aggressive Wasteland start from them. All right, don't care about Rishadenport as much. We have our own aggressive Wasteland options. That's not what I'm going to start with, though. I'm going to get my ramp on. Like, if they're on Rishadenport Go and I present 2 mana sources on turn 1, then I like my position there. They did not get Basic Forest. Okay. They have more to do, that's why. Alright. I've been wasted. That Wasteland's gone forever. So I think I want to play my own Wasteland and Zenith for Noble Hierarch or Birds of Paradise. Probably Hierarch. So Hierarch puts more damage on the board, but alright, what are my black spells still in the deck and how important are they? Leyline of the Void is a fake black spell. Kaya's very important. Abrupt Decay is pretty important. Alright, I'll get the bird. You talk me into it. And I played Wasteland first because this is my white source, and I want to not die to Merit Lage. They could have They could present Merit Lage as soon as next turn. And trying to cheese lands, like mana screw them with Wastelands is probably a mistake. You generally want to use it more surgically than that. All right, so I'm fired, and the fire is gone. All right, so now I get to play Knight of the Reliquary. Oh, nice. And this can't get basic right now. I think that's okay. Like, I could play Horizon Canopy and cast a 3/3 Knight and take a damage, and I'm hanging out my Horizon Canopy, or I could fetch... Oh no, I'm going to fetch the Scrub land, because that gets both of the colors I'm missing. Yeah, that's better. And it makes Knight bigger on arrival. Like, at this point, they're clearly showing a lot of weakness, and I just want to make them dead with a big creature before they dig out of this. Alright, there's the depths. They see the Wasteland. They don't see the Path to Exile. So they're going to go for it main phase. I'm going to Path Depth, or Path Merit Lage. I really hope the card in their hand is just Life from the Loam. Okay, so... let's get you out of here. This does... So if I plow them, they go to 39, which is a lot of life. If I path them, they get a land when they're otherwise kind of hurting. I think that this is fine, though. It's going to be worth it. Then I'm going to cast Thalia and Wasteland their Maze of Ith. All right, let's get over this hump. I also could have Knighted for Caracas, but because I could cover it anyway, I think this is fine. Uh-oh, a spell. Sphere of Resistance. We've both chosen the same path here. They are... Oh, wow, that was insane. All right, so they're under Sphere and Thalia. They're Hellbent, and they're on a 2-turn clock. Let's do it. 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I can't kill them this turn. I can get 1 more point on my knight if I draw with Horizon Canopy. And Skadoosh. Wow, this has been easy. Is this what Maverick players have been doing all these years? This is great. Let's keep it rolling. All right, so for round 3, we're on the draw. I've kept this hand. It has a turn 1 accelerant in Zenith for Dried Arbor. We also have Once Upon a Time to take an extra look. So this seems like a just rock solid hand. Opponent is on 6. Uh-oh. We're playing against Dredge. Cool. What do we do against Dredge? Thalia bricks their late game plan. Questing Beast can attack through zombies. However, on the draw against the LED breakthrough start, we might just lose already. Guess I'll let them go for it. Oh wow, they hit Ox of Agonis off their Dredge and they have triple red floating. They're just gonna mill their whole deck right now. Yeah, this is one of the negatives to playing a deck without Force of Will. Okay, so they don't know what we're playing. I conceded before they saw anything. That's why I did that. On the draw, I think, or on the play, I think I might like Thoughtseize. We might be able to collapse their hand. Gaddock Teague stops Breakthrough and Dread Return if they're playing Dread Return. It also stops Green Sun Zenith though, so that's kind of a mix. So I definitely want the ley lines. Thoughtseize is a maybe. I want Plague Engineer, because if we can get, like, one of them on zombie saves a lot of life, and 2 of them on zombie actually makes it hard for them to win. Ooze is great. Kai is good. Knight of Autumn probably does very little. Swords to Plowshares to clean up the Icarids is fine. Thalia is very good. Collector Oof. Oof stops LED, but that only really matters on turn 1, where I can't have Oof in play yet anyway. So I'll shave the Oof. I don't have a Bajuka Bog in the 75, unfortunately. Hex Drinker is not going to be a relevant threat in this matchup. Sylvan Library is probably a little slow. Questing Beast. This is one of the few ways I have to punch through a zombie army, unless I'm trying to completely control the zombie army with Plague Engineers, or stop it from ever happening. I think we're just going to have to aggressively mulligan no matter what here. Alright, so Gaddock Teague has the same problem that Oof does. Like, anything they'd be casting, Teague won't be there in time. Alright, so 2 more cuts. I guess one of these Once Upon a Times can go. Oh, Abrupt Decay does very little. Basically nothing, actually. Swords to Plowshares and Path to Exile are both much better. And Path is better than Plow, because they don't have basics. Alright, so how's this look? I don't think I have any ways to kill my own creatures, unfortunately, to deal with bridges. Like, there's no, like, Umezawa's Jitte. Oh, I just boarded out my Abrupt Decays. That could kill my own bridges. Alright, if there's a game 3, I will reconsider Abrupt Decay. I would like to play first. I think I have to mulligan to at least like once or twice looking for ley line. Like this hand just does not play. Okay, we're good. We're good. I have the ley line and I can Thoughtseize their answer to ley line. And I'm gonna bottom one of the Zeniths because I want the rest of this stuff. Yeah, so Thoughtseize Thalia should buy me a lot of time here. Unless they have two answers. All right, I'll take the Careful Study and then their hand sucks. So Thalia is a little awkward with this Zenith that I want to cast someday. I think that's fine though. Go ahead, Thalia. I think Narcomoeba is an illusion. Is that right? There it is. Yes, okay. Narcomoeba is an illusion and it's in play right now. So am I more worried about illusion or imp? Is Stinkweed Imp actually an imp? Does anyone know? All right, so Thug is a human warrior. I could look up, I'm gonna look up Stinkweed Imp real quick and verify its creature type. It is an imp. All right, just making sure. Could have been something weird. Is there a 1-drop I'd rather Zenith for this turn? I'm pretty sure it's no, because my next land can get Scavenging Ooze, and then we have a lot of boxes checked. Like Imp has Death Touch, so maybe I should have named Imp, but they would have needed to draw one. Like they have one unknown card in their hand. All right, Golgari Thug. That can absorb 2 damage on its way to death. They're also bleeding out from their own mana base over there. I could Zenith for 1 here. Do I wanna... Like it's basically Noble Hierarch. I took out the Hex Drinker. It only gets Noble Hierarch or Reclaimer. Yeah. I think I want to keep holding on. All right. I could have gotten Birds of Paradise and cast a second ley line. Maybe I should have actually done that. Oh no, ley line costs 5, so it's not as close as it seemed. They can cast Golgari Troll next turn. All right, it's time to cast Icarid. All right, so they can attack for 4, and then Icarid goes away forever. Okay, so I'm gonna Zenith for Ooze rather than waste them. All right, Ooze your daddy. That can block Thug. And it puts lethal on board. I guess with the blocker, it's not lethal yet. All right, turn 0 ley line. Thoughtseize is much, much worse on the draw. So I could put some decays back in which would let me nuke bridge. It gives me an out to nuke bridges, even though it's a very slow out to do that. But I am a mana acceleration deck. Let's see, do I want Thoughtseize in my deck at all? It's just so much worse on the draw. Alright, I think I'm gonna go with this spread here. Alright, playable hand with Leyline in it, on 7. I don't ask for much. It's weird how many like fair graveyard hit cards I have, like the Kaya, the Ooze, and like it just doesn't matter if I don't have Leyline first. Like all of these are the second line of defense, and I need Leyline to buy me like 2 turns to set it up. Because Kaya can also hit bridges, just naturally, just plus to exile 2 bridges. That's cool. I'm a little surprised by no Bajuka Bog, but I guess that makes sense because there's 4 Leyline. Like if this deck was built to play more fairly against graveyard decks, or if the graveyard decks were more fair these days, like against lands or whatever, I think I'd rather have Bajuka Bog in my deck than Leyline of the Void, but against Oops All Spells and Dredge, Leyline is definitely where you need to be. Show me the Leyline. I would even take 2 of them. Let's play around the Nature's Claim. Now they have to make decisions, though. Game 1, there was just speed. All right, we did it. We only have 1, though. So let's hope they keep... All right, they've kept... I was going to say let's hope they keep a crazy 7 that hopes I don't have Leyline. But if they kept a 7 that can remove Leyline and also functions as a magic hand, then we're in trouble. Uh-oh. Oh no. Maybe I should have left in the what's-its-face. The oof. So... I can't get white and black here because I have to get green. I think white is more important than black, probably. Yeah, that casts the turn 2. What's-its-face? Knight of the Reliquary. I guess Knight, I can waste my Dryad Arbor. That's another way to nuke bridges. Alright, yeah, there's a lot of little tricks in this deck that I am starting to figure out. Alright, so we're getting Nature's Claim, then dying. This Lotus Petal is brutal. The LEDs I don't care about because they don't do anything important when Leyline's in play, but Petal can actually destroy my card. Then I'm in the trouble. I've been teared. Alright, now how busted is the rest of the hand? They didn't play a land last turn. Okay, so it looks like they might be slow dredging. I guess if they hit Ox or looting, that doesn't matter. Okay, so they are slow dredging. This might get interesting. They have just Golgari Thug to dredge with in there. So I can play I think I'm going to play Reclaimer and Hierarch and leave up Wasteland to nuke bridges rather than cast Knight of the Reliquary here. Shit, they found Faithless Looting. Okay, well, at least I took the line I did. So what do they got? Did anything happen there? They got Icarid, a second bridge. There is two Cabal therapies. Alright, so I am gonna waste my Dryad Arbor in response to bridge triggers if they go for a Cabal therapy. Okay, and I can F6 from here. They can empty my hand because they have a second therapy, even if they end up with no zombies. Let's just hope they miss on the first therapy. If they actually get 2 cards here instead of 1, that sucks. They named Swords to Plowshares. That was smart. Because that makes a lot of sense, because Icarid is how they win this game now. So they probably have to take the Plague Engineer, because if I draw a black source and name Horror, then the game ends. Also, Elvish Reclaimer can just block Icarid. So that's pretty cool. Pretty sure they should have attacked with both Narcomoebas before they made any of these decisions. Alright, so here goes Plague Engineer. Oh, they named Knight. Interesting. Black source. That's kind of a black source. It will be a black source next turn. I need the Bird of Paradise. And I'm not going to attack because I want to block Icarid. I need to fade Double Bridge for like a little while. Alright, they didn't hit a Cabal Therapy, they didn't hit a bridge, so we're doing alright. So now I name Horror. Now I can attack. So now they can, if there's a bridge in their upkeep already, then they can cash in their Icarids for zombies. They just don't get an attack in between. This is really interesting. If they blind therapy me, I think it's like 50-50 that they name Knight of the Reliquary or Swords of Plowshares. So let's see which one they choose. They chose nothing. They chose to die. Engineer. Does a second engineer do anything for me? Like, what could I name? I could name Illusion, but 3 of their Narcomoebas are already taken care of. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to attack for 5 and cast my Knight. Knight is a 5/5. So they take 5 now. They take 10 next turn. If I can find 1 land to put in my graveyard in the meantime, they lose. Like if I draw a fetch land, wasteland, any such thing. And they missed on a bridge this turn too, so they can't just turn their Icarids into zombies. If they hit bridge this turn, though, they do have a therapy. They could therapy me and turn that into some ground blockers. But that's a losing line. That's a lot of treading water. I guess I could also just play the Plague Engineer and name Illusion, and then they just can't put anything into play. Maybe that's better. I actually think that's a lot better. Like, remove their ability to generate any creatures before they have any creatures. All right, they bricked on that dredge, so and I think I win now. Oh, that doesn't do anything, but it's a lot of fun. I guess it does let me cast this knight and leave back blockers, like in case they somehow sneak a bunch of Icarids into play, though I don't know how that's possible. All right, so Narcomoeba comes into play, dies immediately. They get one. Okay, Hogak is in this deck. They were one zombie away from getting a Hogak. Not that that matters here. All right, we beat Dredge fair and square, lost game one, and then leyline them in the next two. That's how you do it. All right, so we're on the draw here. This is our first Thalia hand. Like, we haven't had a turn 2 Thalia in this league yet. We have Once Upon a Time to try to find a 1-drop. They're saying in the chat they're a fan of my content, and they just went Island Ponder, so I believe them. They chose to shuffle. I think they'll be pretty surprised if they follow me to see what I'm up to here. All right, that is a 1-drop. It's not the one I want, though. I want a Noble Hierarch or a Birds of Paradise, please. I did run this into Daze. That wasn't entirely on purpose, but I have no regrets. All right, let's get this bird and play some basic lands. All right, so we found the turn 1 bird. Let's see if they are full Snowco over there. What's going on? Is this counterbalance? People who follow my content know that I have no respect for counterbalance. Uh-oh, fetched wrong land. That's embarrassing. I'm gonna lead on Reclaimer because I care less. Force Pitching Quaddle. I love when they force a card I have a second copy of. Now I'm probably getting plowed. Oh, no, this is not plow. This is a Sylvan Library. Okay, that's a pretty good card. But so is Wasteland. Ka-chow. Oh, this is interesting. I can jam the knight here, or I can play Thalia and just make the life more difficult. I think I somehow like Thalia. Even though I feel like knight is probably correct, but Thalia is harder to answer. So like if they have to like pay life or do something weird with the Sylvan Library to answer Thalia, then that makes Knight of the Reliquary stick harder. Like it just paid 4 life. So if that was like I don't know. Like if they had to find the land and the plow. So Icefang Coatl is 3 other snow permanents? At least 3 other snow permanents. Okay. So this land can't fetch basic forest, and they only have 2 snow permanents. So I'm safe to attack Elvish Reclaimer into Coatl. And here's my knight. One of us is dead here. Either they like Terminus or I smash. Yeah, having turn 3 Sylvan Library instead of turn 2 Sylvan Library is pretty bad if that was a misclick. That sucks. And dead. Alright, Thalia too good. So they're on some sort of fair Snowco deck. So Choke is excellent here. This is a Vraska matchup. I've been waiting all day. I like Thoughtseize in these control matchups too. Gaddock Teague can stop Force of Will, but that's mostly it. I don't love that. Kaya's very good against Uro. I kind of just like every card in the deck. I think I can play less Swords to Plowshares. I like Plague Engineer can name Snake and let my combat go nuts. Collector Oof can get out. It turns off Astrolabe, but I don't think that's worth a spot on its own. Hexdrinker's probably good. Just having a real way to win the game off Zenith for one is pretty great. I like Questing Beast in these matchups. Just haste is really cool. Abrupt Decay is great. Alright, Once Upon a Time's getting shaved again. Once upon a time, I kept this card in my post board configuration. No, I didn't. That's a lie. Remnant Excavator is pretty mediocre, I think. Like, I don't think this is a leyline matchup. If I had different Graveyard Hate, I would probably bring it in. But I guess I already have Ooze in the main deck and Kaya, so it's already in. That's how Maverick works. Wow, I'm figuring all this out. Okay, so I think between Caracas and 2 Plows, that should keep Uro under control, and then the rest of my game plan is not lose to Oko. Alright, I like this. My hand doesn't have an Accelerate, but it does have Choke and Abrupt Decay. I'm into this. Opponent thinks they had lethal if they fetched correctly. Huh. Are they show and tell? And not Snowco? Did I just punt this? Thinking they were something they aren't? Alright. That may have given me some extra information that they didn't want to give me. So I'm pretty sure I want a Thalia here. Is Thalia? No. I take it all back. I want to Abrupt Decay here. Yeah, I want to. So both of these plays constrict options, which is not surprising because that's this deck's whole thing, constricting options. So the choice was, do I want to constrict the cards they have available or the mana they have to play them? And I went with the cards available. So I think I want Scrubland. I have double green already. Do I need double black for any reason? Do I need triple green for any reason? All right, I'm going to do this. So they brainstormed and missed a land drop. I'm going to try to choke. This is probably going to bait a Force of Will. And then I can Thalia next turn. So what I'm doing here is, if they are show and tell, okay, yeah, confirmed. They are show and tell. So I wanted to do that to get the Hymn to Turok out of the way. And then I can play Knight of the Reliquary next turn. And then I'll have a Route to Caracas in play. And if they play the show and tell, I can put in Thalia, which turns off Omniscience for the turn, unless they have exactly Omniscience plus. If they have exactly show and tell, Omniscience, Emrakul, then I can't beat that. But if they show and tell, put in Omniscience, hoping that that's good enough, or if they just put in a naked Omniscience and try to cantrip to a win, Thalia slows that down a lot. Yeah, there's a lot going on here. This matchup is probably pretty bad, though, for me. Coatl. All right, they do have a Death Touch Coatl. Unfortunate. Good thing I left in the Swords to Plowshares. Okay, so how do I sequence all of this? Pretty sure I want to plow the Coatl, Zenith. So I have 4 mana, basically. All right, so plow this. Zenith for 1, or Zenith for 0, get the Dryad Arbor. I should have, oh no, I can't play Thalia first. I was about to say I should have played Thalia first to play around Daze, but that's not actually a thing I can do. So if they force here, then the hand gets pretty bad. All right, force pitching, disallow. Okay. So now their hand has to be, like, their hand plus card off the top of the deck has to be, like, show and tell, Omniscience, Emrakul. I can beat Emrakul with Knight of the Reliquary. They did not shuffle off that Ponder. They did shuffle off that Ponder. Okay. So now what can I do? Vraska is straight up embarrassing here. What creatures are left in my deck? I could just get the Questing Beast and Ranch. Just put them on the clock. All right, Questy Bestie. All right, 1 turn clock. One of us is dead right now. Uh-oh, is it me? Drawn from Dreams. Okay. I don't think there is a way to generate 3 mana off of 5 cards, like triple Lotus Petal, Show and Tell. Yeah, the math doesn't work out, even if they do have double Lotus Petal. Okay. Questing Beast cutting a full turn off the clock might have been life or death there. All right, so misread what my opponent was doing there and wasn't punished for it. On to the finals. Is it time to 5-0 with Maverick? I hope so. And it's time for the finals. We're on the play. This hand is like medium sketch. Like it doesn't have a second land. I'm gonna keep it though. I get to Hierarch and I have multiple Zeniths. I can get another Arbor. Obviously this is not ideal. I'll land off the top, cast Knight of the Reliquary though, so we're kind of in business here. Uh-oh, are we in the mirror? Or are they Eldrazi? Those are like, or Elves. Like those are the only decks that play these cards. Elves is a real bad matchup. Shit. So is Wasteland. Okay, we're playing against Eldrazi. Oh no. They're gonna have Chalice on one. There it is. Okay, it's time to draw a fetch land into Knight of the Reliquary right now. Oh, that's something. I think I need to just decay this right now. I guess I don't need to do it like right now. I can wait until their turn. All right, I'll just pass the turn. This Wasteland is gonna get me good though. Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Fuck my life. I was about to say, oh, they're not even using their sweet Wasteland. But yes, they are. Destroying Chalice is more important than destroying Dryad, because I can plow the Dryad anyway. Okay, so they are not Eldrazi. They are this Titan Stompy deck. A land would be insane. That's not a land. All right, I want to get what they're doing under control and then figure out my own plan. I don't know if that's the best idea, but it's what I'm doing. Is this another Chalice? Yep. Okay, that's bad. Gonna need a land. Land, please. All right, I'll take it. All right, so Zenith, x equals 1. I'm gonna get Birds of Paradise. So you're saying there's a chance. Yeah, if they like reveal Ancient Tomb and cast Primeval Titan, then there's not a chance. Oh, Ramanap's real bad for me too. Because that was my plan. You can't do my plan. Okay. And they waste our waste. If we find a basic land, we're actually just in the money here. Oh, okay. I could Sylvan Library or Zenith for 1 again. I think Library is just way better. This is the most competitive I've been with 0 lands in play in a long time. It's kind of fun. Yeah, I just need them to like fail to do anything. Oh, that was pretty good. I guess it was like fine. It wasn't insane, you know? All right, let's do this again. Get another hierarch. Yeah, this knight is going to be my key to victory, I think. This is a weird game. So if both of us brick off for the rest of the game, I think I'm actually ahead here, but they have so many good top decks like that one. Okay, now we're in trouble. They have Uro. That's the blue, blue, green, green to cast Uro with. Are in some trouble. Chalice of the Void is such a good card. I'm mad about it. Collector, oof. That's not quite what I wanted. This Zenith, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess they would have to like waste their own land and then exile everything to escape this Uro. All right, so if I play Knight this turn, oh, Knight doesn't actually tap for mana. So is there a line where I Excavator this turn? Okay, so if I Excavate this turn, I can Excavate my Wasteland and mess up their blue count. Oh, they didn't have double blue anyway. All right, so I can mess up their blue count for Uro, and then next turn I can Zenith for 2, play my land, and immediately exile Uro with Scavenging Ooze. Okay, that's my plan. Oh, it's 5 other cards, not 6. Oops. Good thing they don't have double blue. Oh no, is this Primeval Titan? I'm not ready for that. I just figured out Uro. Stop. Oh, this is Zenith 4 Primeval Titan. Even better. All right, I think we missed our window to win this one. So they get Field of the Dead and another, or 2 fields. Yeah, or a field and bog. Okay, all right. I'm dead. Stop the damn match. Okay, so what do I do here? I think all of these removal spells are going to be important. Vraska is another out to Chalice. Gaddock Teague turns off Chalice and Zenith. Though I am also a Zenith deck, so that has some problems. I don't think I want Ley Lines. I have the Kaya and the Ooze already. Maybe this is too many Plows, though I do want like a lot of them. I think Plow is more important than Teague. So, Plague Engineer. I didn't see any. Oh, I saw Field with the Dead. 2 Plague Engineers naming Zombie is really good at shutting down that plan, though I'm not sure that is where I want to be. Like, I think I'd rather use my Wastelands to control the field or keep field out of play. Is that possible? Can I do that? Questing Beast bashes through zombies. Hexdrinker grows past zombies. Hexdrinker is a 1-drop though, and I'm bringing in a lot of 1s against this Chalice deck. Choke can shut down a Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Is that cheese that I'm interested in grading? Thoughtseize might be pretty good on the play. But again, it's a bad top deck, and it's bad against Chalice. Is Thalia good? Probably not. I'm gonna play it like this. and hope it's good. They're basically doing the same thing as me, but bigger. This has the turn 1 ramp. It does not have all the colors I want. I am going to keep this, though. They're on 5. Is that what we need? Is that the cheese? So now the question is, do I fetch Bayou to play around Chalice, or Savannah to play around a Dryad or something, or Basic Forest to play around Wasteland? And I think I want the Bayou. Just gotta hope their hand is kind of a clunker. Mox Diamond's a good card. Didn't see that one last game. So we're not getting Wastelanded this turn. That's good. We might be getting Chaliced. Alright, if they mulled to Chalice, that's actually fine for me. Shit. Alright, I have a new plan. You wanna mull to 5 and play Mox Diamond against me? This is what we're doing. White source. Yes, money. Okay. I'm feeling pretty good right now. And if we draw a land and get Questing Beast in, then they're on a 3-turn clock suddenly. And they clearly have nothing going on. Ooh, oh, I can't cast that. Thanks for nothing, Thalia. And the Caracas is protecting the Thalia, though I think my lands are in more danger than my Thalias are. Like, Wasteland is about the only effective thing they could do here, and yep, there is the Wasteland. Alright, so I'm just gonna cast Noble. Oh fuck, I'm an idiot. I got so excited. I got so used to ignoring that they didn't have any permanents in play. So I was gonna play that pre-combat before they could waste my Dryad Arbor. Get the neutral damage in, but instead I just put my Noble Hierarch in the graveyard and lost a damage. Alright, still drawing a land is insane. Okay. This one will work, I promise. If they were at 12 instead of 13, they'd be on a 2-turn clock, but instead they're on a 3-turn clock because I am a dope. I can cast Kaya next turn, unless they just waste all my lands out from under me, but if they do that, they just lose. Okay. What does that do? I don't think it does anything. So I play Savannah. Unfortunately, I'm like a victim of my own Thalia here because... Ooh, actually, I could attack with everything. If they block Thalia, then I can play Kaya, exile Chalice, and plow the Excavator. That sounds pretty good, actually. Though if they block Dryad Arbor instead, I'm fucked. Oh, I can bounce Thalia with 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I don't have enough white to do all of that. Because Caracas being my bounce source and my white source. Yeah, that's no good. I think I attack with just Questing Beast. I'll just put them to the test. This is the same clock as if I attacked with everything. And then play Kaya, exile these lands from the graveyard. I'm going to take the Bayou in the Forest, at least make them fetch, make it cost life if they want to play out of their graveyard. And then next turn I can exile Chalice and plow things if they're not just dead to Questing Beast. Alright, they're at 2. They can Zenith for 2, they could cast Uro. Alright, there's Uro. That's fine. Kaya has Uro beat. It's pretty sweet that Uro and Primeval Titan are both giants for Cavern of Souls. And by sweet, I mean horrifying. So they're currently dead on board. If I exile this, plow this, they're at 7, I attack for 7. Let's see if they want to Wasteland. I don't think that matters if they do. Yeah, and they have, oh, they can Wasteland the Dryad Arbor and stay alive. So that's not as good as I want it to be. So exile Chalice, plow this, 4, 5, 6, 7. They waste Dryad Arbor to stay alive. Or I could just exile Uro and the land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A land off the top lets them cast Primeval Titan. That's what I would want to exile, I think. With Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, so I'm just gonna exile that, attack here, put them to 1. Then I'll play my Sylvan Library. Oh wait, if I attack with everything, they lose. I'm so dumb. Jesus. Alright, I've played poorly. If I just attack with both of my creatures... Oh, no, I lose everything. I already did this. I did this math. I'm not dumb. I would just lose my Thalia for no reason, because they Wasteland Dryad Arbor, they stay at 1, and eat Thalia. Okay, nope, not dumb. I did consider that. So they could go land Primeval Titan here, and then stuff happens, but I don't know exactly what stuff is. They're dead to this Kaya activation, they're dead to this Questing Beast attack. I have Sylvan Library about to go ham. I can protect my creatures with my Caracas if I want to bounce them. Yeah, I'm not sure what they could have. Alright, nothing, they're dead. Ooh, this was tricksy. I liked it. Let's hope they mull to 5 and keep a 0 land hand again, because that worked out pretty well for me. What a plan. Alright, I don't think I want Collector Roof. Even though I now know they have Mox Diamonds. Fairly confident that's just not what I'm in the business for. Yeah, I think this deck, as it's currently configured, is as good as it's going to get. All right, let's do it. For all the marbles, we're on the draw against a stompier version of our own deck. This hand is not keepable, unfortunately. I don't think I'd keep this hand in a normal circumstance, and I'm definitely not going to keep it against the Chalice deck. All right, this one's good. I'm gonna bottom the Path to Exile. I believe Swords to Plowshares is better against this deck than Path is because they have a ton of lands. Once upon a time, miss your land drop, pass. Let's go, let's go. I'm a good sport, I promise. Oh, Basic Swamp is in this deck. Yeah, now it's in play. That's suspicious. Should I be suspicious of that? Because I am. I'm getting basic Forest here and hoping this Noble Hierarch survives to my next turn. Like, fetching Savannah unlocks my hand, but it exposes me to Wasteland. Alright, Chalice is fine. Oh, we're playing mono basics. I think getting Knight Online is more important than Thalia here. Because I can double spell next turn. I can play Ramanap and Thalia if the Knight untaps. Nice. So that name's Human. That kills this and shrinks this. So that's bad, and it bricks future Thalias. That was actually really brutal. All right, Zenith for up to 2. I think I just play Ramanap here. I'm just going to run out the Ramanap Excavator. And if they go to Wasteland me, I'll sack the Bayou, fetch something with Knight, so I get some value there. If they just have like Abrupt Decay for Ramanap Excavator, I'll be pretty bummed. Because they don't have a way to pull ahead on mana. Like, I'm ahead on mana right now with the Knight. So if they waste me and I just flip that for a different land, they're going to be behind, like even more behind. That cost them a land and it cost me nothing. Shit. And I'll just do this anyway. I'll get a fetch land. That still plays around the Wasteland in mostly the same way. This is worse, obviously, but drawing my own Wasteland off the top would be great here. Kaya is also pretty good. So, Bayou, Kaya, exile Chalice of the Void. And then I'm holding up Swords to Plowshares. This is pretty good. Just suddenly. Maybe I should have plowed Dryad Arbor before they go into their turn, but I think their scariest stuff happens on 6 mana. Like, I have one more turn to think about that. At least I hope that's true. I don't know. I don't really want to plow either of these creatures. Alright, that's kind of desperate, just shoving Uro into the active Kaya. Unless they have a plan to remove Kaya this turn. Yeah, they're probably just going to attack with Plague Engineer. That's an easy one. And I'm going to get Savannah. Get that out of there. Now I don't even care if I get wasted because I have Ramanap and they don't. What am I zenithing for next turn? Kinda. Alright, so get rid of Uro and the land from their graveyard. I can play Heath. I can just zenith for Questing Beast and get the beats on. Or I could zenith for Knight of the Reliquary and try to plan for a future turn. I think I just want to get my damage in though. They're at 24, we gotta get to work. Maybe I'm supposed to get Knight there so I can start pressuring with Wasteland next turn. Like if they prime time here, that's pretty bad for me. It looks like that's likely what's happening. Yeah, maybe I should have gotten Knight. This is Zenith 4 prime time. So I could have stopped that with Thalia. The zombie tokens can't block Questing Beast. Important to note. So like Wasteland or Swords of Plowshares are both good. Karak is shit. That deals with Questing Beast. All right, yeah, their Knight of the Reliquary is Primeval Titan, and it's a lot more powerful than mine. I didn't need a second copy of a legendary permanent, that's for sure. So gonna attack with Questing Beast. If they want to trade Primeval Titan for it, that's a deal. Get these cards out of their graveyard. I'm gonna play Dryad Arbor just as another creature in play. Caracas can answer Thalia and Questing Beast. I'm just trying to gum up the board as much as I can here. Yeah, if I had gotten Knight of the Reliquary instead of Questing Beast, I could have Wasteland plus Ramanap active right now, take out Field of the Dead, take out Caracas. Yeah, I might have messed that up. I tried to play too aggressively. They are almost dead to Kaya though, so they have to respect that while they're doing all this other shit. So that can kill either Dryad Arbor or Thalia straight up. Alright, it killed Thalia. They are now Hellbent. That's probably not going to matter. Jesus. Wow, I'm dead. Alright, this went poorly. If I get Knight of the Reliquary, 1, 2, 3, I have a 5/5 in play, and they don't have Field of the Dead. Alright, yeah, we're gonna end up just... We are already dead. I have no outs to this situation, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, our chance to play small ball is past. This is a big ball. Okay, so I may have missequenced this last game, willing to believe it. I guess I should keep playing though. That's Knight. Does Knight do anything for me? Is it too late? So it's smaller because it's a human. All right, I'll run it out, and I'll put up the Dryad Arbor. I don't know. Like I'm almost certainly dead. I'm just trying to see if there's a world where I can cheese victory with this questing beast. They're unfortunately 4 attacks away. Like even one less life point. Like I could have put them to 9 that last turn. I'd wasteland again. So this Dryad Arbor is just permanently on not helping mode. Okay. Now I can't remove the Primeval Titan. All right, I'm dead. I'll pack it up. So that was a pretty impressive showing, a 4-1 with Dark Maverick, only losing to bigger Stompy, basically the same package in a larger body. I was impressed by how easy a lot of those matchups felt. They felt pretty effortless to just control what my opponents were doing. There were a number of tenuous spots where it was just like, please don't have Lightning Bolt, or like please don't have Show and Tell, and they just didn't have it. But I guess that's what you sign up for when you play a deck like this. I think this deck is good. I think it's a viable choice. I don't know if I could register a deck without Brainstorm in a serious tournament, but if you want, if you're so inclined to do that, this is not a bad choice. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe. Let's talk. Mention it. Mention in the comments lines you think you could have seen better. I'm interested. See you later. Bye.